The whole theme of today's episode is going to be around friendships. Let's get to know each other on a deeper level.
Wow, that's what she's starting with.
If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. Are you guys ready?
We're ready for it.
Please don't cry.
It wasn't easy, but
Tissue, please.
Oh my God, we haven't even started. What are you doing to us?
What makes them, what breaks them.
So this scar on my face is when there was war in Lebanon and our building was bombed.
How old was Aiden when you found out that he was on the spectrum?
I don't want Aiden to go through what I had to go through. I want my son to have it all.
You always make up, break up, and then come back together. Farhana, did you know that about Zeina?
No.
I know there's been like a lot of ups and downs in the friendships. Farhana, tell us about your loss.
Now I'm hurt because I think Farhana's gonna slap me.
I was also hurt in that situation. Welcome back to another episode of Meet My Friendz podcast. As you all know, I always get a friend of mine to be a part of my podcast. Today I have two special guests, one that has been my friend for a while and one that is a new friend of mine, and we're developing a friendship. And I think the whole theme of today's episode is going to be around friendships and what makes them, what breaks them. And without further ado, I want to introduce you to my two friends, amazing, beautiful Zeina and the soulful, amazing Farhana. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Danya.
you.
Thank you for
Thanks,
being
Danya.
here.
Thank you for having us here. Thank you for having me. I think it was so important for me to come and have this podcast with you because I love supporting my friends.
Thank you.
Especially, I know how the podcast means a lot to you now that you just started. I remember you did a few already, and I'm always happy for your success, and I'm always there to support you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations on your new podcast.
Thank you, Habib.
I wanted to come to see what Farhana has to say. No, I wanted to come because I feel that we don't know each other much.
Mhm.
I felt you have a lot of questions that I would like to answer.
Yeah, I do.
That's what I felt.
Yeah, and I think like when I initially approached you to come on the podcast, I really want to get to know you. I know our friendship is like fresh. It's a developing friendship and we're getting to know each other. So I thought what better way to get to know you than on my podcast and for my audience to get to know you as well. So it's like it's a way where I'm getting to know you and the audience at the same time. I know Farhana is here as well. I know that you both had some ups and downs. You've been friends for I think you both been friends before I've been friends with you. Like you've been in Dubai for a
we've
while.
known each other for many
Yeah.
years now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know there's been like a lot of ups and downs in the friendships, like arguments, but like you always make up, break up, and then come back together.
Look, Dubai has a very small social circle. So you can know someone or know of them or meet them in occasions. But for Farhana to say that she knows me well and for me to say that I know Farhana well also is a wrong statement, I would say,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe you guys know each other in social events, but
Social.
not on a deeper level.
No.
Let's get to know each other on a deeper level. So I want to start off with the basics. I'll ask Zaina first. How was your childhood, like growing up?
Wow, that's what she's starting with.
And I
Where
want to
all the-
also ask Farhana that. I want to ask you, and I want to also, I don't know about Farhana's childhood.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about
I grew up in Lebanon.
Mhm.
I am a middle child. I have an older brother and a younger brother. I grew up in a family where they focused a lot on education. And because of the situation in Lebanon, the political situation, a lot of families suffered in terms of financial stability. My parents had to make ends meet
Mm.
at some points in time. All along, I wanted to be a successful person. And they taught me that to do that, you have to work really hard and
Yeah.
you have to fight. I come from a background where they teach you early on that if you really want to get places in life, you need to fight for it.
Fight for
will
your
be-
right.
Fight for your right. Fight for being successful. Work hard. There's no shortcuts. In 2006, I moved to Dubai after I got a degree in banking and finance.
So you're
Adult
alone,
life.
right? You moved to Dubai alone.
My brother was already in Dubai,
Okay.
so I sort of come from a not conservative but protective.
Because you're the only
Family.
girl, right?
Yeah, they said, okay, if you're gonna live with your brother, you can come to Dubai and see what are the opportunities because there was a war situation in Lebanon.
Because I remember once we were speaking, I don't know what it was, like in the group of friends. And I remember you once brought up that you were, as a child, you experienced, like there was a war going on in Lebanon and you experienced that. And I don't know, when you said that, that really touched me. And I just want you to, if you're comfortable, sharing that experience of what happened to you
Yeah.
during that.
So this scar on my face is when there was war in Lebanon and our building was bombed. A bomb actually targeted our building. And so we used to rush from our home to the underground basement and while I was rushing, I tripped over the blanket and I
Oh my
fell.
God.
And the war situation, I think, affected most families in Lebanon.
How old were you when this happened?
I think I was around 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 9 years old, yeah.
That's traumatic, right? For someone, a 9-year-old, to experience that. I can never relate, honestly. And when you shared that with us, I'm like, wow, I want to sit with her and know more about that, because that's like something, when someone looks at you like, oh, Zeina's like, she has this very tough exterior. That's the way she is. But really, you've been through a lot growing up.
I think 99% of us do not really know the traumas that we went through. But eventually, as you dig deeper into your own self, you start noticing certain patterns in your behavior. I grew up in an environment where financial stability was very important. I find myself being a workaholic, a trauma that has affected the way I live my life. So this has become a pattern for me, where you can find me working at 11 p.m.
Something traumatic from your childhood, and you've turned it into something good, but also as a result.
But there's no balance.
I think even if you get to the top, even if you're like #1 real estate agent or the best company or whatever point you get to, because of that trauma that you had early, like, it's still not enough. But what if someone takes this away from you? What if, this is like, it's true. I feel that way always. Like, I don't know why my mom raised me that way. My mom always told me, always depend on yourself. You never know what can go wrong. Always so I don't know why my mom said that to me. Maybe it's from her trauma. Maybe she went through something. But she put that trauma on me that, like, always work harder. So I always I wanted to start another business. I want to do this podcast. I want to, even though I'm very financially stable, my husband's doing so well, I still want to do more. And I think it really comes back to, like, something that happened in childhood. But I want to talk to Farhana. Did you know that about Zeina?
No.
Isn't that like...
Yeah, it's really touched my heart. I almost had tears and I'm trying not to cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, you went through a tough time and I think, bravo, you did well.
It's amazing what you've done, and the fact that you can talk about it. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. They wouldn't want to talk about it. But, you're sharing your story, and the audience watching this, you don't know. Maybe a girl's went through the same thing. And she relates to you. And she's like, there is hope. Maybe one day I could be like Zeina. Maybe one day there is hope for me. And I appreciate that you shared that with us. Farhana, tell us about my
childhood. So I grew up in a very close-knit, humble Muslim family, very conservative.
How many siblings were you?
We're 5 sisters and 1 brother.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I never knew that.
And we're all scattered around the world.
And you're the eldest or the middle?
No, second youngest. I have a younger sister who you met, my younger sister.
Yeah.
I have 2 of my sisters in the UK and 2 of my other siblings in South Africa with my mom.
Okay.
To be honest, my childhood was not easy. Like I said, like, we grew up also like similar story like Zeina, like from a very humble background where, my dad worked, my mom worked, my elder sister worked to support us. And that's where the woman empowerment comes from. That's why I'm so all about women empowerment, because I've seen what we went through, where my sister she sacrificed a lot to work and do things for us.
Please don't cry.
It wasn't easy for us.
Oh my God, we haven't even started. What are you doing to us?
But anyway, I was always the one in the family that I was a go-getter, and I was like, I just want the best things in life. I want to do this, I want to do that. And I was like, how am I going to do it? I started working, I started saving money, and I said, I want to go to London to my family.
How old were you when you started working?
I worked at a very early age. Even like when I was in school part-time, I used to work, for pocket money, this, that. We used to do, I used to work in fabric shops and accessory shops. I did like a lot of work, even waitressing, everything I did when I was in my teens. So I wanted to go to London. I had this big dream. I was like, I'm going to make it big. And I come from a family, we live in this very conservative town in South Africa, where girls don't go out and travel and do all of this, what I did. I just had that one dream that no matter what happens, I'm going to make it big one day. So I joined a makeup school because I was very passionate about fashion and makeup and modeling. So I joined a makeup school. I did a course in makeup, and I worked with very good brands in South Africa in makeup as a makeup artist.
Mm.
And then I still had the dream of going to London. And my dad was not allowing me to go. My family was completely against it. And promised my dad, I said, please give me this one opportunity. He's like, you want to go? You do it on your own. Like, we're not going to support you. Like, you do whatever you want, you do it on your own. I want to see how you do it. So I went, I worked, I saved money, I bought my own flight.
Wow.
Honestly, it was not easy. When I went to London, imagine you go to London and London is like a London. You know,
Yeah, going to London for the
it's
first
not
time, it's such an
easy.
experience.
I didn't know where I was going to work. Basically, just that one dream that I'm going to go there and make it big. When I got there, I started approaching agencies. I started going for interviews. I found some friends I made some new friends from South Africa. Obviously, I had connections here and there. I rented an apartment with like 4 other girls. Voila, that's how I started. With 4 other girls. That's how my London journey started. I got a job in Selfridges as a makeup artist, and then part-time I was doing modeling, and I did many different jobs in London as well. It was good. London really made me the woman who I am today, because you do everything on your own. It makes you independent. You have no family there to do anything for you. No nannies, no maids, nothing, right? So you do literally everything on your own. So I'm glad that I got that opportunity, because it made me so independent that I don't have to rely on anyone. I can literally do everything on my own. I can cook, I can do my washing, I can do everything on my own. And then, so I was in London for a few years. I worked there, and then I was like, what next? I had an opportunity to come to Dubai to do a fashion show. I was a model also, right? And I remember when I first came to Dubai, it was in, I think, Mina Salam. I think that was the hotel. Like, it was still very like, in
New, it was
2006, 2007 back then. I fell in love with Dubai. I remember I had a friend of mine who passed away, my local friend. He sent me his, those limos, the old ones. I remember I went in the limo for the first time in my life. I saw this Dubai life. I was like, wow. I want to be in Dubai. So then I went back to London. I wanted to wrap up things there. And then, obviously I was like, that's it. The next dream is Dubai. So from London, I did what I had to do in London. It was a very successful journey, although I had a lot of ups and downs, It wasn't easy. But yeah, I spent good 4 years in London. And then I moved to Dubai. And that's when the Dubai life started. Alhamdulillah, Dubai has been the best so far. Honestly, it's let me live my dream. Like, I look at myself from where I started to where I am right now, and I'm like, Alhamdulillah, it's always getting better and
And
better.
now when you say the story and I hear both your stories, you both worked multiple jobs. You both worked really hard to
when
make
people,
your dream come true.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, I see like such a similarity, and like, we sometimes overlook that. Like,
people misunderstand me. They're like, she's a hustler. She's always hustling. She's a hustler. You know what? I'm a proud hustler. And I'm still hustling, because you know what?
we're all hustling.
I don't
We're
want
all
Aiden.
hustling.
I don't want Aiden to go through what I had to go through.
I know.
I don't want him to hustle. I want to give him a good life, because I struggled in my life.
But you should teach him to
I
hustle.
will,
Hustling
but
is
I
something to be
struggled
proud
so
of.
much. I went through so much in my life.
Yeah, I know.
I want my son to have it all.
I know. Every
Wallah, I
mom
wanna give
wants
him the
their
best
kids to
life.
have the best life, and I think that's why we all work.
Yeah.
And that's why, we want our kids to have more than we had, and a comfortable life. And they will have a comfortable life.
That's why I'm like, when people throw shades at me, whatever happened between me and Zeina, wallah, khalas, it's done. But, when people throw shades at me, not only you, I'm talking about other people, I get hurt, because, they don't know my journey. They don't know how much I hustle, how
And that's
much
why
I
we're
went
doing
through.
this, Farhana. That's why we're doing this. I want you to get to know Zaina, see what she's been through. And I want to get to know Zaina, and I want to get to know you. I mean, I know you, but I didn't know all of this.
One thing I want to teach my kids is hustling, because you never know what life will throw at you.
Exactly.
And I've seen a lot of economies fall. I've seen a lot of currencies devaluating. I've seen a lot of investments going bad. There are force majeure happening around us. I want my kids to be hustlers. So while I want to provide them safety and security and an education, I don't want to give them everything.
But Zaina,
I
my
want them-
situation with
I know,
Aiden is
I know.
different.
I know.
I don't know what's gonna happen,
know.
right?
I
So
know
for
you're,
me,
you're protective over Aiden.
because of his situation,
Yeah, yeah.
because his situation is different to your kid's
Of
situation.
course.
So I want to ask
Definitely.
you something. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. How old was Aiden when you found out that he was on the spectrum?
2 years old.
And what made you realize that?
So I came back from Maldives. Hero, Aiden, and I went to Maldives. When we came back, I went to see the doctor. This doctor I met through a friend of mine. He wasn't his regular doctor, but he just suggested it. Why don't you go and meet this other doctor?
So you took him to a doctor just for a checkup, and the doctor picked up on something, but
Yeah.
didn't tell you what it was.
No.
And said just go to
Good,
another
because he
doctor.
wanted me to see a
Specialist.
specialist. Yeah.
Okay.
So went to see a few specialists, not only one. And they all said to us that, seems like he's on the spectrum, but it could be mild, but you need to go and see another specialist. So from one doctor to another doctor, I went to see so many, and finally we found one who was really good. I have no idea what autism means. Like for me, it was just like first time in my life,
First child.
first child.
Yeah.
My family, we don't have a history of that, neither does he. So for me, I was just like, what is this? So I read up about it. I started doing research. His father still don't want to accept it. Took him years to accept.
You
I
know,
had to
there's some
accept.
parents that their kids have been diagnosed, yet they don't accept it. And then the kid, they don't give them the treatment they need. And then the kid grows up to be 20, 21 years old. And then it hits them. They're like, I wish when our kids were younger, we gave them the treatment they needed. We gave them the attention. And it's hard as a mother or as a parent to come to terms with that. But you've come to terms with that. You've accepted
And I
that. And
immediately
you're giving
started
him the
therapy.
need that he.
Immediately I started therapy,
Yeah.
speech therapy. I immediately started everything. Even now I'm, back and forth with different doctors, trying to find different things to do. Like whenever someone suggests to me, like, okay, go and see this doctor, well, immediately I'm there because,
I know.
we want to find solution. Even there isn't the solution. The only thing we can keep doing is therapy, speech therapy,
Exactly.
ABA therapy, a lot of therapies, right? And that's
Yeah.
all we can do. So I'm on top of it. It's really challenging, Danya. It's really, really challenging mentally. It's it's affected me a lot. There are days when I'm just like, I just want to give up. I'm just like,
No.
why me? Why me? Why my child?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my mom's like, no, but he's so much better. There's so many other kids with more sensitivities. Just make shukr to Allah
Yeah.
that you have a baby. You have a nice, healthy son.
I always say that God gives you situations, and if he didn't know you were strong enough, he wouldn't give it to you. You're strong enough. You're able to handle being a single mom with a child that's on the spectrum. You can do it, and you just have to believe in yourself. And we all see what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job, and we're here for you. And Aiden's a great kid. You started therapy at an early age, which is amazing. I'm telling you, there's parents, they don't want to accept it. And just because of their selfishness, they don't give therapy to their kids till they're older, and it's too late.
And also, the science has evolved a lot in the medical industry. If you notice, there are a lot of brilliant people that are on the spectrum that are leading the world.
Yes.
Elon Musk is on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But back in the days, people didn't have enough research about autism. And now every 2-3 people you meet, there's one of them that says, oh, I have ADHD, right?
Yeah.
Previously, they used to say this is a child that is naughty because they're not listening.
Exactly.
So the diagnosis has improved, the ability to actually treat and guide and help these individuals to live a functional life has improved a lot.
Yeah.
And being in Dubai is the best thing for kids like Aiden, because I've spoken to moms who are from abroad and they moved to Dubai because of you can send them to normal schools. Aiden goes to a normal school.
Which is great, which means that he's already infused into the society.
He's great. Alhamdulillah, he's very intelligent.
He is learning social skills. My understanding of autism is that they are on another level of intelligence.
Yeah.
They struggle with social skills.
Social skills,
Yeah.
So if he is already going to a school and he is interacting with kids,
he's become so much better.
This is great news.
Yeah, that's amazing.
No, seriously, from where we started to now, there's a huge change.
And you play a big role in that, Farhana. You should be so proud of yourself.
Honestly, I wish I could do more.
No, every mom has this mom guilt, or I wish I could do more. I wish I could be with my kids more. You're doing the best you can. And I think we always have to say that to ourselves. we're doing the best we can for our kids. Like Zaina's a workaholic. She's working for her kids. You know, you're working for
She
Aiden.
said, I do it for my glory.
I know. I don't think she meant
Sorry
it then.
about. I'm sorry. I said.
Yeah. See, like really, I think we need to, as mothers, support each other. Thank you for sharing that with us. I didn't know you were going to share that. I didn't know if you were comfortable, but I'm happy you did. I know it's a bit heavy, our conversation, but I think that's what makes you get to know each other on a deeper level. So now I'm going to ask you another deep question. Are you guys ready, or do you want me to ask you something lighthearted? I want to,
Do it.
you know,
We're ready for it.
you ready for it? Okay, so I'm going to now shift to Zaina and then I'm going to shift back to you. I want to ask you, when was the first time you experienced loss?
Loss. Loss of money or loss of...
Someone you love passed away.
Yeah. So my dad. The loss was quite intense. Everybody used to say that I look like him, I act like him. I have a lot of my character from him. And the sad part was seeing him suffer. He died after suffering for 5 years from cancer. It took me a long time to actually mourn him. So I was very strong. I went to Lebanon for the funeral for 3 days, and then I came back to Dubai and I started working.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was a gorgeous looking man, green eyes, full white hair. And he was very generous, loving, caring. But he was the typical male personality where we don't really show emotions. And I consider myself blessed that I had the chance to say goodbye to him. And sometimes you think about it, like our parents go through a difficult period by getting sick, etc., where you at least have the chance to say goodbye, to do the things that you wanted to do with them, etc. There are other times where you don't get the chance. You live in this regret for the rest of your life. So losing a parent both ways is horrific, but I feel that I had the chance to actually say goodbye. And he had a few dreams that were pending for 30, 40 years that my brothers and I managed to fulfill his dreams.
That's amazing.
Yes. I'm happy he saw me get married. I'm happy he saw my brother's son. We called him after him as well. I get quite emotional when I see myself succeeding and he's not there to see me. This really touches me.
Yeah.
I don't talk about it much, by the way. Huh? Not a lot of people know that I've lost
I didn't know
my
that.
father.
Farhana, tell us about your loss.
Obviously, it's my dad. But the way it happened, like 6 months before, we all went Umrah together. And that was the most beautiful memory of him ever, like that I had, because we all went Umrah together. I remember he made a little letter. I think my sister still has it. I have to make you read it, Danya. I swear, they say sometimes that they say your parents, when they give you the blessing, it can change your life literally. Like, the blessings are the best.
Yeah.
I remember he wrote that because he was going through, he had cancer. They removed his voice box.
He had cancer.
He had throat cancer. So they had removed his voice box. So he couldn't communicate. So he used to so he wrote a note for us. He was sitting, the Kaaba was in front of him. He wrote a note for us that's sitting in front of the Kaaba that, in the last few days, what my kids, like all of us kids, have done for me, it's like I will never forget the day I die, and I pray, I make dua for you guys. And, all these amazing duas he left for us. That's the only memory I have, because after that, he went back to South Africa. I fell pregnant. And imagine, it was 5 months. Imagine the day I went to find out that I'm having a baby boy. That's when my dad passed away. Can you imagine how I felt? Imagine, he would not be able to see my...
That's so sad.
And then we got on the flight at night. The whole time I couldn't imagine that. But we couldn't even like go to his like because they had to bury him early, right?
Mm.
They don't wait for so many hours and hours, so we couldn't even like.
You weren't there.
But now when I went to South Africa,
You went to see him. But the same thing I told Zaina. You know your dad's watching over you. He's here. Maybe both your dads are here in the room right now, and they're so proud of both of you. Like this most successful woman you've become.
Okay.
It's hard.
the only regret I have is that I wish I was there for him when he was in hospital the last few hours.
Maybe you couldn't take it, Farhana. Maybe it was good that you weren't there. You know,
And I wanted to go and see him. And
you were
then
pregnant. How could
he
you?
said, no, don't worry, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. But he didn't pass away because of the cancer, because that he was getting better and better.
Mm.
Passed away with something else after, I think, pneumonia or something. I think everything just, all
Your
at
whole
once.
body immune to you.
Yeah. Allah yarhamham. Both your dads.
But
May they rest
imagine
in
the day he
peace.
passed away, that's the day I found out I have a baby boy.
Maybe that's like a blessing, no, Farhana?
Yeah.
You lost
And I
one
see
man.
so much of my dad in Aiden, so much of my dad in Aiden.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I don't know, I have dreams and always this feeling that dad's watching over Aiden.
And he is.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
He's in a better place because
Yeah.
they were suffering.
Mm.
Yeah. When you see them suffer, this is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it. Honestly, I don't know. Thank you, both of you, for like opening up about such a sensitive topic and something that you've never really spoken about. And I haven't heard the depth of her story. I just knew her dad passed away. I had no idea what your dad, well, both of you have so many things in common now that we're speaking about it.
Yeah.
And
I cry much better than her.
yeah.
I am such a
Zain has
crybaby.
the power cry.
I'm a crybaby. Oh my God, I
cry.
cry for every.
You still look good. It gives like this shine in your eyes.
I do cry a lot.
For every date, you should cry. And
No, I do get emotional. And I get emotional, I just cry.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's nice to just let it out.
I think it's so healthy to cry, honestly.
If I'm giving an employee a raise, I'm so happy. I have tears in my eyes.
I know.
Like, because I feel like, oh my God, I'm making someone happy.
I'm proud of you, Zaina.
I cry from
I love
everything.
that.
Well,
From
listen,
everything.
today I saw a different side to Zaina, and I'm happy that I saw this because with all of this drama, honestly speaking, everything that happened between Zaina and I was really upset with her. And I said so many horrible things about her and so many things, and likewise, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, I just realized one thing, that Zaina, I see a different Zaina right now, but why can't you be like that? Why do you sometimes, I feel like sometimes you don't show the side, like you don't show the emotional side, the soft side. I always seen the hard side.
People that are close to me know. But I think we've been a lot in social situations where there's been conflicts.
And you've had to have
misunderstandings,
your guard up.
and I've had to be defending myself. But people that are close to me, people that work with me, people from my family, they know that I'm very emotional. I'm someone that's very sensitive. I cannot walk into every room and have tears in my eyes because they're like, I had to be tough. I had to be strong.
But now when I look at Zaina, I understand why she is the tough person that she is because of what she's been through growing up, right?
Yeah.
Even you, Farhana, like when you look at Zaina, next time she walks in the room, you're like, why is she like that? Because she's been through what she's been through.
I am
Makes you
programmed to fight. I am programmed to work hard for what I want. I'm programmed not to take no as an answer. This is how I'm programmed.
Yeah.
Because
too, I
it's
don't
a
like no for an
survival.
answer.
It's a survival mechanism.
Yeah, and the survival, yeah.
It is.
Look, not everyone had it easy. Not everyone growing up had it easy and like, whatever you want. For example, like I always had to work for whatever I want.
And I
from a
think that's
young-
why also her behavior to certain things makes sense because she really worked for everything she has. And if someone she feels is attacking that, she has to defend it because everything's going to fall apart. And I also understand where you're coming from. So I think next time we're in a situation, you do something or Zarin does something, maybe be more understanding of, she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully there
You've
won't be
been
these
through a lot.
misunderstandings between Zaina and I again.
And I'm not talking about you guys.
Yeah,
By the way,
generally.
I'm talking about our friends group.
Yeah.
Whoever is in our friendship group, we might see this exterior of how they show themselves, but we really don't know what traumatic things they've been through.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
has caused them to be the person they are. What causes them to be triggered by certain things. So like this is just us, but it's something that you take from here and you take it to the real world. We're just saying, like before the podcast, this huge plot twist. 2 years ago, me and Zaina weren't even friends. And now we're having this podcast talking about friendship, getting to know each other. And then the person that was my best friend, I'm not even talking to him right now. One day, we were all children. We were all innocent. We all got along. We didn't have this ego or this anger towards each other. And I think in order to forgive each other, we really need to get to know each other on a deeper level. And I think, maybe if you sit with Safa, I don't know when, I don't know how that's going to happen, but maybe if you get to know her and she gets to know you, maybe now Zaina will go share the stories that she heard about you to Safa. Maybe that would change something. I don't know. Maybe when we go to the pajama party, we can talk about it. I don't know.
Look, forget the burqa on the side. I feel that Safa, there's so many things I really, honestly, Zaina, I traveled with her to LA, everything. After that, I saw what happened on social media, all of this burqa and many things. And I sat and I thought to myself that do I really want to be friends with someone like her who is so nice to me off social media. But on social media, she's like in competition, like she wants to smash me, trash me, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But then afterwards, she wants to be friends with me and my friends. So for me, I don't know. And I don't know. Like I just thought to myself, do I really want to be friends with someone like her? You know what I mean? So put the burden aside. That's done. I confronted her. She didn't apologize. She didn't apologize to me in front of everyone, which is fine. Whatever. But I'm just saying.
If we were all the same people, we'd be all marrying the same guy. We'd be all running after the same person to become friends. I don't expect everybody to be friends with everybody.
It's fine.
No, I get it. It's not about the Birkin. It's not about it's about the intention behind the comment, I think. And she was hurt. Okay, let's change the subject. Let's go back to the podcast. Okay. What is your advice for someone that has a friendship that's fallen apart and they want to build it? What's your advice to that person?
Communication and being extremely honest. And I've had to let go of a lot of friendships in my life. And I truly value friendships. And it hurts me when a friendship ends. But once I was feeling very bad because I had a friendship that lasted around 10 years and we were like daily together. And then I was having a call with my therapist. And she was like, how does this person make you feel about yourself? Do you feel like you are a better person with this person in your life? And I was like, no. She said, do you think they think you are pretty? I said, no. She said, do you think they think you are smart? I said, not enough.
Wow.
And she asked me like a series of questions. And I was like, what am I doing here? If my friend is not adding value to me, if my friend is not bringing the best in me, is not making me a better person, why am I here? So you can have friendships and know people in the society and say hi, hello, etc. Yeah, this is my friend, kiss them, go out, etc. But you need to be very, very careful who you keep close to your heart.
Yeah,
like this one person that you are like your go-to person, this is very dangerous. They can make you or break you.
Wow.
Exactly.
Powerful. That's powerful. What about you, Farhana? What's your advice?
So I had a friend who was very close to me, extremely close to me. We've traveled together, fashion weeks, everything. And then one day we had an issue and things fell apart. And I miss him so much. I really, I wish me and him could be back to being best friends. But so much happened, and I don't know if we'll ever reach that stage ever again. But I do regret losing him because I loved our friendship, and then I realized that there are times in life when your tongue, if you don't control it, from both sides, not only from my side, even from his side, your tongue, your actions, you know, you
How
cannot
long
bring it
has it
back.
been since you've
No, it's
not
been many
spoken to each other?
years.
How long?
No, we see each other now. We still friends on social media, but it's not like how it used to be
Have
Used
before.
to be
tried?
close.
Have
We
you
were very
tried?
close.
Yeah.
I tried from my side, but I don't
What
know.
advice would you, a girl going through this right now with one of her friends, what advice would you say?
For
Give them.
me, honestly, I think you have to communicate. You have to speak about everything because you don't want to lose someone that you really love as a friend. Friends, like relationships are different and friendships are different. When you find that person that you honestly, I really miss this friend of mine. We traveled, we were like besties,
Do
like,
you
and
wanna
you're
use
in the
your,
industry. We were in the industry, but then also I understand sometimes there's a lot of competition in the industry. From my side, no, but maybe from his
With
side
a
there was
guy?
a bit. It was a guy.
But you're competing with a guy in the industry?
No,
Like he wanted
no,
to wear
we're
the
not
dresses?
no,
you were
we're not
wearing?
not competition, but like it was silly things and like I don't know. Like sometimes I think some people just
Do you want to use this platform to
not really
send him a message?
Not really. I would like to say to all the besties and friends out there, like if you have a friendship, like try to work it out because it's very
Don't be
hard
Farhana, be Farha.
no.
That's your
It's very hard to
tagline.
find a good friends who you can really vibe with, and there are many. I have a lot of friends, but then there are friends who you really vibe with, and sometimes things don't work out. Honestly, I do regret, but then and again, what's meant to be is gonna be. So yeah.
Zaina, what are three things you love about Farhana?
Love,
Love.
her time management, her ability to attend 3-4 events per day is very commendable.
I agree.
I think Farhana is patient.
To a certain extent.
Someone that can sit for hair and makeup 3 times a day also is, is someone that is patient. I feel Farhana loves people and loves to be around people and is a very good networker.
It's good. What are 3 things you love about Zaina?
Right now, her hair.
That's not counted.
Okay, so I'll tell you the things I like about Zaina.
Yeah.
That regardless of everything that's happened, she's been a good friend to Safa.
Okay. I respect that. What
Like
else?
everything.
3 things, not 1 thing.
She always sticks up with Safa even if she's in the wrong.
So it's all about Safa.
And then what I like about her, I like hers and Hannah's relationship, to be honest. I like the fact that she's cool with him and she's
like
not
friends.
possessive. They like friends. Yeah. I think it's hard to find a relationship like that in these days. And I like Hannah. I have nothing against Hannah, even though me and Zaina sometimes have, I really genuinely like Hannah. I think he's a really cool guy. And
You're starting to make me feel you like him too much.
yeah, Allah. No, no, not that way. But in a way, like I think your attitude with Hannah, I really like that.
They balance
For
each
me,
other
that's
out.
goals. For me, that's goals. Now, after hearing the stories and everything, like we have a lot in common. Actually, we do. And the fact that she also likes she won't take no for an answer. That's a boss woman like me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
So,
I don't know.
what do you want to do with your Meet My Friends podcast? Like, where do you want to take it to? Like, what's your future plans for Meet My Friends?
Like I want to use my platform, my friends, because my friends inspire me. I have like my personal trainer is my friend. Sometimes my child is my friend. There's so many different types of people that can be your friends. And they teach me so much and they inspire me. And I want to bring them on my podcast. So also my audience can be inspired by them and learn from them. I think we learn from each other regardless of age, nationality, gender. We learn from each other all the time. And I want to use my podcast to, just spread awareness on certain topics and get to know people on a deeper level.
Very good.
Because I feel like the world is so fast paced with social media, events back and forth. Like we know that, like we live that life. And sometimes in my podcast, it's the only time where I can like shut off from everything and really focus on the person in front of me and get to know them on a deeper level. So I enjoy my podcast. I love talking to people, and I hope like my audience love that too.
I loved Meet My Friendz podcast too.
And I want this conversation to continue. It doesn't have to be on my podcast. We can like meet once in a while and get to know each other. I want you guys to get to know me as well. So thank you. I really appreciate your time.
Danya.
Thank
for
you. I think you know what also would be nice for us. Maybe we do a girls trip outside, like travel somewhere together. I think also that helps.
Yeah.
To get when you travel with someone, it helps.
Yeah, of course. You get to know each other.
Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah. This was like a short
Yeah.
trip, our own trip, a podcast trip.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Meet My Friendz. Stay tuned for the next episode, and I'll see you on the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with a friend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.